no like pre-show gag or anything?
Oh.
I have technology.
Oh,
This is my pre-show gag.
Holy
yeah.
smokes, Radio
Haha.
Norm is coming back. I don't know about this, but Radio Norm's coming back.
Yeah, look.
Is this coming
my-
out the right way? I don't know. Should I be
It
flipping
looks
around?
good,
It
man.
is.
It looks good. It looks good.
It looks okay. Yeah. Wow, everyone's having their load screen. Even Joao, I bet.
I'm trying to find it.
My favorite one's this one.
Okay.
I have the same
Or this
one.
one.
It's this one.
Oh,
For technical
sensitive
difficulties.
I like how he switched to it just froze.
content. Yeah, I know, right? It's sensitive content.
Right.
We go Hollow
It's
Man
like
again.
Frozen.
Yeah.
There.
Taking
Now
out
we
the
go down the rabbit hole.
BRB.
all right. That
That's
works.
pretty cool.
That works.
I like this one. Pardon me.
Anyway, so, wow.
Martin, where's yours?
I have yet to get my goat head. Oh, oh no, it's gonna end the episode. Just kidding. Anyway, hey guys, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Bodega Nights. My name is Martin, aka the guy who's trying to make his best Rob Cesternino impersonation in this episode. We got Joao, we got Norm, and we got ironic gamer Miko. So how have you guys been? And how dare you guys talk about my waifu game without me? No, just kidding. I kind of
They're not
appreciate
just
that.
your waifus.
Yeah, I know. It's everyone's waifus.
This
Venti, the best waifu.
This is the lost episode of Bodega Nights. Let's put it out on Patreon.
If you're wondering which one it was, it's the one where we talk about Genshin Impact.
And The Sims 1 again. Oh my god.
Sims
I
1.
was having a good time when you guys were talking about Sims because I actually made a slideshow of one of our coworkers who's leaving. That's why I'm dressed up today because in a couple of hours we're heading for the lunch, the farewell lunch, and the video is using one of the neighborhood tracks of The Sims 1.
Ah, I have no idea what
Interesting.
the music sounds like anymore.
It's gonna be relaxing.
All I remember about that
Something
was
like that.
wanting a big house, then not knowing at all how to manage the big house once I got it.
Or like leaving a pool ladder off, taking them out of the pool when everyone.
Ah,
is there.
you're that player. You're that player. I want to
No,
play a
I'm-
game, live or
No,
die.
I'm just a player. We got that guy upstairs though. Hey Norm.
Finally, I'm up top. I'm on top of the
Yes,
world.
I know. He's on
What- how
top.
does it feel
after
like to be on the
so
bottom,
many
Martin?
episodes.
You're on the
Very
bottom
solid.
now.
I'm used to-
Good
I'm used to
foundation.
it, so no.
Martin's
no problem.
always on the bottom, right? Like
Yeah, I'm always on the bottom.
it's
Bottom
usually
again.
it usually ends up with like Miko and I next to each other, and then like you and Martin
Yeah.
on the bottom. I think that's usually how we end up.
In
So-
fairness,
Yeah.
in my perspective,
Yeah.
Norm is still a bottom.
Same here. He's like at the bottom of Joao on my screen.
That's the same thing, yeah.
Way to take it out. Important part is what comes out on YouTube.
That you're not on the bottom. Okay. Okay.
For the audio listeners, we have a YouTube channel now. we
Yeah,
put these
It's,
out on YouTube
yeah.
now.
We've had a YouTube channel for quite a while. It's only now we're starting to put stuff on. Same thing, my channel
Yeah.
I've had for like since 2013 apparently. It's like, I am now putting in content again slowly.
Nice.
Yeah,
My
dude,
content is archives. which
Yeah,
which I'm annoyed with because one of my videos got slapped by YouTube. They took it
Oh,
down.
no. The DMCA thing.
No, I didn't get DMCA. Like there's something that gets silent because it's like copyrighted music because it's like archives of my streams.
Oh, right.
But that's normal. But what got struck down was Outlast
Oh,
because
That's
it had the
recent.
name Outlast Whistleblower.
Oh yeah.
And it's so close to the elections. I feel like that got slapped because this is being because it's fake news. Like it's a video game. What fake news are you talking about?
They might have thought you had Hunter Biden or Rudy Giuliani in your video.
Isn't that like we believe that you're spreading fake news and information? Like it's a video game. Let's play.
It's a video
what,
game.
What fake information do you want me to spread?
Yeah. I mean, what's it? YouTube likes to do that, huh? Like there was a time when after that like Paris bombing, right? Like we put something out on YouTube as Third World Linux talking about like expressing our condolences, blah blah blah, for the victims of that bombing in Paris all those years ago. And the first thing that YouTube did was demonetize it. Like,
Yep. You said the
huh?
word. You said the word. You can't say that word. What?
Yeah,
Paris and bombing. Yes,
right.
but mostly
So,
Paris. Damn
I
you,
mean,
French
I,
people.
I don't know.
fair. It's kind of like in bad taste. Fair.
But then we were being all like, our deepest condolences to the families, blah blah blah, blah, right? And, I
Yeah,
mean,
but the AI doesn't understand feelings. The AI just knows how to delete, not
well,
how
to be
to
fair,
love.
to be fair, this was many years ago before they had the takedowns and whatnot. Like, I'm pretty sure that if we put it out now, it would have been taken down. And I'd like to think that they were right for demonetizing it. But if that had been released now, it would probably have been like straight up taken down for sensitive content or whatever,
Yep.
or like what's
I
it?
was amazed. Like my other Outlast videos were loud because like they had so much penis in them.
Yeah,
I guess this
I
one
also have
isn't
no
going to be
idea why
allowed.
that's a thing. Like the last few games I played just had copious amount of dong. And it's not like I'm choosing game because there's dong, but apparently there's a lot of dong. Apparently horror and dong is a genre.
I mean that's sort of a thing, right? Like there is a lot of like nudity and whatnot in horror films. Like that's a thing.
True, but you see it's not like I am going to slap you with a penis.
Oh yeah, but there's a
I
lot
guess
of
some
that sort of thing.
donks can be scary, Miko.
Especially when it's coming right at you. Except the mannequin dong. That was
Wait,
just a weird dong.
speaking of dong, how about Tankong dong?
Oh God, Vietnam. I've been like checking. I've been thinking, can I do this? Can I stream old school dial of Vietnam Let's Plays? And I'm thinking, what do I do with this? It's like there's no actual campaign that's interesting. Like there's a quote unquote campaign, but it's
We're
not
gonna
the
have to
same
play
without
multiplayer,
people
Miko.
and the stupidity of having friends.
Dude, let's all like play Battlefield Vietnam, and let's all reinstall what was the VPN that we use? The VPN that we use, zero
Hamachi?
tier. I used in our most recent run of Battlefield, we've been using zero tier with Martin and Paulo. So like, let's all install zero tier. Let's all like get on Miko's stream and speed run
Speed
Operation
run.
Irving.
I'll
In,
be
in as much as we can speed run Irving.
as much as
I
we
might
can
have to
remember.
pass.
It's going to be the first 5 minutes. It's just crashing the choppers into the ocean.
Yep.
Well,
Or
that
the jet
failed.
plane.
Swim.
And then you get sniped.
Yep,
Well, I might
exactly
have
as
to
how
pass
I remember
because
it.
Miko, what's your streaming schedule again?
9 p.m. GMT plus 8 till 12 midnight. Though for this week, it might be a little shorter because I'm pretty much doing lots of VR stuff. And two things I've learned about VR is VR horror games are absolutely terrifying.
Because
And
of all the
because of the
donk.
sheer amount of terror and the amount of terror, like I can't play straight for 2 hours. It's like you get a mix of not just being tired, you're just terrified. Like it's everywhere.
It's worse.
Like I did
You don't have-
I did some testing. Like I don't want to move forward. Like I have one game that you don't teleport. It is room scale, so you never teleport. You have to walk through everything like a haunted house experience.
So, is there a VR for Visage?
Yes, it's coming out with the full release. Yes, I will be playing that one. As much
30
as I
minutes at a
hate
time.
Visage, it's pretty horrible because it's utterly terrifying. But at the same time, this is great content. It's just horrifying.
I guess the
It's
question will
horrifyingly
be,
great.
yeah.
The thing that annoyed me with that place, I realized, oh, you're supposed to do the old lady first, then the kid, the chapters. Because the way it's
quick
built
catch
was
I
there.
remember that.
Dolores is actually the first chapter they made, and it wasn't so bad. But then we go to Lucy, the little girl, it's just utterly terrifying. And me being me, thinking, I just got done by with this. Oh, what's this thing? Oh, it's the more terrifying section. Yeah, that was Norm was there, I think. Norm was
Yeah.
there for the horror.
Yeah, everything else in comparison to that game was mild.
It's like Amnesia. Like, I understand you're trying to scare me. I see the effort, and I applaud you for your skill, your narrative.
If
It
I
just
just didn't
means
go through
nothing
the
to me
other
now.
game first.
I did realize that thing. Like, you could literally play something so horrifying or something, it just breaks you to the point you see other stuff like, eh. I guess you
What-
could be scary.
It was scary to the point where I actually was. I don't know what is. I don't know if it's just because the game was scary or because Miko was also screaming in my ear while I'm listening to the stream that I'm also screaming, and now my parents are like, "What the hell's happening? What are you watching?"
Hey, I know that guy. Like he was your classmate, wasn't he?
Now he's screaming on YouTube.
Yep.
It's funny how now I know two IMC people streaming on YouTube and Twitch. It's
Yes,
you
we've both
and
been on your
Joao.
show.
Yes.
Um,
On separate
That's how
apps.
Martin discovers streamers, Miko. He invites them
That's
to
his.
his show. And that's how he
That's his
finds
way.
out.
Like he doesn't go on Tinder. He goes on Twitch. That's how he finds his. Like, hey, how you doing?
You like to get on my podcast.
You want to
about
guest
gaming.
on the podcast? Yeah, Miko, you want to get on my podcast?
Hello there.
That's the modern day dating now. We invite you to a podcast, discuss different things. Hey, how are you doing?
I'd still be completely up for that, dude. Like we could have a separate like podcast feed on channel 14 where like the entire thing is just Martin going on dates.
Channel 14, 18 plus.
No, I don't want Channel 14 to be
That's
liable
the
with
stream just
anything.
for Patreon. Is what it is.
Patreon. Fine, Patreon.
Which is on channel14.com. So please support the channel. Look for Bodega Nights on YouTube. I think we're also on Spotify.
Yeah, we're
I
definitely.
Yeah,
feel
we
like if
are.
we ever made something called Channel 14 OnlyFans, it'll immediately get struck down by its name.
Man, it's gonna be that's going to be our like Martin goes on a date podcast. That's going to be like our OnlyFans exclusive content.
Okay, whoever's editing the video, whatever you do, don't spam the canned laughter tracks because I see a lot of dating or something like that with the vlogs. They say something, 2 lines, 3 lines, and then
Don't
that
worry,
stupid
Martin.
track.
Are you
Or like
sure
that,
what we'll see will happen to you
"Wow!"
will be
Or like
utterly humorous for us already?
Yes, yes.
We're gonna be using a lot of like we're gonna be using a lot of that Isaac Hayes sort of like
Oh,
70s
yeah.
funk, like oh yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot of that, dude. I can totally imagine it because man, we're not about taking joy in the display in the misfortune of our friends, right? Like that isn't something that I'd like to think we like to publicly admit.
No, we'll
Yeah, of
publicly
course
admit that,
not.
but I will say it does sell well when I do my stuff.
Yes, yes. So
My
speaking of-
misfortunes, everyone else's entertainment. In fairness, though, it also makes things a lot easier.
No, why?
Norm, I think it's Norm's
Norm.
technical difficulties thing where he just freezes up.
That's
I have
his
to say though,
like you know how you got those people that like, oh no, my microphone isn't working, whatever. Like that's Norm's way of saying like, hey, my internet connection is slow. Like my internet connection is choppy. We should
yeah,
we should have like a series of pictures of us just going like, and then we have them as like, and we cycle through them. Like, sorry, my connection isn't doing
And we're
very
back.
well. Hey, that is his
Welcome
snatch
back.
technical
your
difficulties
face
for you, huh?
before you do the transition.
like match
Yeah,
it.
so our acting workshops made for nothing, huh, Norm? Wait, were you even part of? Wait, was Norm ever part of our orgs, Viara or Rock?
Yeah, dude. He
I
was
know I made him work
He was,
for
he was a
reasons.
hired gun, dude. Norman was like a hired gun.
Oh, okay.
I was.
I remember
I think
there's
I
like
was
a
a
few
member,
times
but
I
I
asked
don't-
him to help me move things.
I was a member, but I
yes.
don't remember actually doing anything. I was hanging around.
Yeah,
That's
was
the
it.
best. At least you're there. There are some members who are there by name but never there. We have those.
I actually I signed up because I wanted to learn script writing, but it never actually came up, and everybody was just doing plays. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not really interested
Yeah.
in acting.
Oh, so that's how you
I'll
got
just
pulled
kind of
into
help the
Joan's
prod.
things.
yeah, and so
Mm.
like
Ink
That's-
blood.
that's why that makes a lot more sense now because
Yeah.
I've always been kind of wondering like, how did you end up being the dude that ended up essentially running those writing workshops of Joao back in the day. And yeah, it's completely in your wheelhouse. That makes so much more sense now. Like 10 years later.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
then
I
I
end
was
up in these
broke.
workshops because I know I wasn't doing anything related to the workshop. I just remember being present.
Yeah, well, those
Was it?
workshops were a lot of fun, dude. Like looking at the people that went through those workshops, it was quite the cast, shall we say?
Oh
It
yeah,
was an amusing
memorable,
group.
all of them.
Right.
I think it's evolved now to what was it? Joe M has it story writing school.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
story
on
writing school.
Facebook for
I'm
anybody
checking it on
interested.
Facebook. It's story writing school
School.
thing. Yeah,
I actually
school.
Yeah.
I actually had him on my class. I actually had him as one of the resources for a class where we talked about genres, codes, and conventions because his story workshops are divided by genre. So, I kind of wanted to pick his brains on that a little bit. I should probably release that as a podcast at some point. See Martin's eyes light up.
Earlier for the Patreon fans.
Speaking of Patreon, I have been informed by my HR to state that none of the Patreon funding from channel14.com will be going through my wallet. They'll be going
Alright.
through Joao, Norms, Miko,
It
but not
doesn't
mine.
it doesn't go through
Not mine.
anybody's wallet, Martin.
Oh, right,
It goes
yeah,
through
because
the
it's internet
internet.
money.
It goes
Ah,
it goes
It
straight
lives-
to
to funding
goes
the
str-
website.
yeah, dude. It goes straight to
the
paying our
website, yeah.
domain name.
Yes, so technically, nothing going to me. That's it.
What do you mean technically?
Just so-
Actually, nothing goes to you.
Actually, nothing going
Yeah,
to you.
nothing.
So when this
Okay.
podcast is brought up in the future for like apparently court purposes, yes, Martin admits that he does not receive
Nothing.
any said money.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
hope it
I
pays the
think
court.
I think I spent more instead of I never got anything. Remember, there was this one year we paid up money either to Joao or AG just for the rent of channel14.com.
Yeah, for the domain name, we all chipped
Yeah,
in
domain
like
name, yeah.
a little bit, but
Mhm.
then
A little
I
bit,
don't know.
yeah.
After that,
After-
it-
It magically started taking care of itself somehow.
I
Yeah,
know.
the
somehow.
faithful 14.
Somehow.
but then not that we have too many people on Patreon these days.
Hey, sometimes you might have
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, last time it hit 14 or 15 per month,
was-
and then now it's just $1. Maybe third world Linux maybe the third world Linux would come back. I'm pretty sure one of your fans will start, donating again.
tell that to AG, dude.
It's
Well,
really
he's
all AG's
only-
fans.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
He's the
they
handsome
miss
one.
his voice.
You have to realize they come in for AG. They come in for like the K-pop like
Hey,
looking guy.
man.
Yes,
Hey.
yes. Talk
And this
nerdy
is
to
weird
me.
because
Yeah,
they
they
never
think
had
that-
video of third world Linux, or did they?
Except that one time, there was that
was
one
one, yeah.
glorious day
There was one
that we
Okay.
completely screwed up a live stream. This was what 2015.
Wow,
so,
that's some
yeah.
time ago.
Back
That was
when
an early time to our live stream.
back when YouTube Live was still in its infancy. Like we actually tried doing a YouTube Live thing. It wasn't that great. I don't know.
It happens. You kind of learn.
Still
It's
gets
kind of like the
shivers.
first streams and things. You will always make mistakes. Hey, you get used to it. You learn. I mean, hey, look at us. After 9 years, we can almost pay for things.
Right? I can almost taste the infamy.
But then, like to be fair, right? I'm pretty sure we have like enough to last us, provided that we keep on doing the same thing that we've been doing. That is to say, like no paid hosting and all of that. Yeah, dude, we could
As long as we
survive.
pinch all those pennies as hard as we physically can,
Yeah,
and the
not
government
rely on
doesn't
that
come
money
in and
at
tax us, we'll be fine.
There's nothing to tax me.
Pretty easy.
yeah, dude. There's
We
nothing
need
to
you to-
tax.
Show us your income statement. Why is it negative? According to this, you have to be paying us. That's it
Much
work? Is that how? Can that work that way? Like if you have an income that's negative, your tax like I guess we give you money. Is that how this works, or you still pay something tax wise?
Joao, what does the law say?
I
have no
cannot
idea.
remember.
Like I feel like you can't get income tax if your income is negative.
If you don't
right?
have any income, yeah.
I remember-
you don't have any income tax. Did you
I
have a
remember
taxation class
income-
or something? Like you guys?
Mm.
Marketing people?
I remember doing a taxation program in computer class.
I remember
All I know
being
is,
told to hire
we
we
someone
had
to
to
do my
look it up
taxes.
way back when.
Yeah. But like I do remember that no income, nothing to tax because it's levying your property, and if you don't have any property.
Haha! I'm
My
poor. You
understanding
guys can't
from
touch
way
me.
before was you can't have zero taxes.
Oh yeah, you can't
Which
have zero
means that
taxes
if-
because like
Yeah,
Your existence
so
is
you have
taxed.
if you have zero income, you still have to pay the bare minimum of the lowest bracket of taxes,
What is
no,
that?
dude, you have a non-tax
which is
minimum wage isn't taxed.
yeah. So we're still there,
But then like
but the government isn't gonna give us extra money for not
for yeah.
profiting.
But then you do pay tax in like value added taxes and whatnot. So just your mere existence already has a little bit of
It costs you
stake,
this
know?
much to exist.
Yeah, dude.
Hmm.
We call this
Right?
the existence tax. You
Yeah, it's-
physically being present
Yes,
must
it's
be paid
12%.
for.
Yeah, 12%.
12%, Miko. That's existence tax. Anything you buy, 12%.
That's one thing we've learned in the pandemic. How many more things can we tax? I'm waiting for the point that we are now taxing dirt. I mean land tax? No. There's dirt tax and there's land tax.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, now that I have
Wow. Wow, Norm. Wow.
now that I have, I've been playing around with this, but
He's been waiting.
I get the
He's
timing
been
right?
waiting the whole week to pull that off, dude.
I know.
He's been waiting the whole week to pull
Right.
off that visual guy.
It's like
I
his
love it.
payback for Zoom.
that's why I was on the stream 30 minutes early. But also,
to like try it out. I love it.
but also, I was testing out the experiment that you wanted me to check out
Oh, what did you learn?
with my green screen.
Yeah.
And I will share that knowledge to our Patreon subscribers.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well,
Oh,
time to
God,
sub the
there's a
Patreon.
Was it a success?
Oh my god.
Was it a failure?
I need to know. I need to know if the pepperonis fly.
Patreon, OnlyFans fan. We can.
What we do know is for everybody else who actually won't pay, what can we do here?
Oh no!
Um,
Oh no. Oh no.
Has he learned? Is he doing it? It's gonna be
so-
live?
So,
Is it gonna be
so
live?
everybody knows.
He's adapting. He's
This is what you
adapting
can
like
expect.
a board.
I can't
And now
watch.
Miko wants to find out
Yes.
if
I'm now
it
very
applies
curious.
everywhere. Oh, we're not there.
Oh.
That's gonna be for the Patreon fans. No, Miko, no. We're gonna do it.
It doesn't work if you did multiple times in a row. We know
Yeah,
your net's not
no.
that bad.
Yes. You're not the other side of the world that has high ping right now.
Talking about outside the world. This is amusing. One of the latest people follow me on Twitch is from Brazil.
Martin.
Yeah, that's me, dude. That's
No, I'm pretty sure that really
Or
you're
Martin's neighbor.
that's you. That's Davey Crazy or I think that's
Yes,
Davey.
that's Martin.
Hey,
Pretty
I
sure that's
followed
not
you, and this is crazy.
That's totally Martin.
Here's my Twitch handle.
It was,
Its
it
name
was
is
some news thing. It's
Davey.
like, oh hey, like welcome to the
That was
stream.
really-
The very first thing he asks is, do you see Portuguese? Like, I'll be honest, the only word I know
Miko.
is yes, which is sin.
No, seam. It's like C, but you have to add M.
Yeah.
So the problem is when we speak Spanish, we can't say seam because when they say tudo bem, C to the bed.
See,
Seem. It's hard to
Yo,
unlearn.
How are
Pose
things
queso.
going in one of the COVID capitals in the world, Martin?
Well,
Yeah.
everything's scary, but I have to soldier on because I have to go to a freaking
case of
restaurant
dive
dressed
turn.
up for a farewell party. And,
And we're
while they
back in
say
the
it's
COVID
not in
section.
You know-
full capacity, it's actually in full capacity.
I really hope this doesn't become an ironic farewells thing where it becomes very dark in the end of it.
I hope
It's a
not.
farewell party. Everyone now has COVID. Hey! Uh-oh.
No, like,
We're sorry, YouTube. I know we're not supposed to say COVID.
no. We're supposed to say kubid. Kubid. It's not. It's kubid.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kubid.
The coof.
Yeah, kubid. The koof bid. But yeah,
Really?
they're forcing to open
Not
everything
supposed
up.
to say that?
Like last month or 2 months ago, the malls have been open. Restaurants have been opened in not full capacity or like 40%. But Jesus Christ, if you see 40%, it looks full as hell.
I mean,
Yeah.
40% of what?
Of the usual capacity of the restaurant.
I mean, if you look at 40 or 50% of the usual capacity of a restaurant in a developing country, that's like, hi guys.
Yep, it's kind of tight.
It's kind of tight. So half of it is like a normal day out
No.
in like
No
California.
bueno.
You know,
I mean,
I don't
it's
know,
just, it's just disturbing. We're forced to go because it's fine. Restaurants are finally open. Let's have a party. Cool, but there's still that dread, that sense of dread every time you get the hell out of your house and you go to a public place just for that.
what's the
Oh, yeah.
what's the case count in in Brasilia?
Oh,
Over
let's see.
9,000.
How
Well,
many
Definitely
over
over
that?
9,000.
Whatever it is,
Right,
it's
how many new
not
infections?
seven.
Well over.
It's not second
What?
or seventh.
Right?
I have no idea. What
Oh, there
is
it is.
that
I see it
showing
right
us
now.
that- Can you see it? Is it
Yeah.
still 200,000?
No, active cases or like
Active
total?
cases.
Oh, active
Total.
cases.
I
No,
mean,
total is
the
5.3 mil.
The total is
Oh
going to
yeah,
be
yeah,
going up.
that's Brazil. Yeah. You have to check federal district.
Yeah,
So
that's
total
Brazil.
cases is 208,761. New cases yesterday 500. Wow. Okay, so we're in the 500s now, not thousands. Cases per 1 million people is 81,000, and deaths are 3,000.
Okay, all right.
Well, it's
Per million or just
the per
3,000?
day has decreased from 1,000 to 500.
Hey,
I-
that's good.
That's positive.
I mean, it's improvement.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
there's
less positive.
there's a picture last week or 2 weeks ago. I think some of us shared it because Rappler shared it. There
Private air
were
quotes.
people hugging in the Brasilia hospital, and the caption was, "They finally released their last COVID patient." And I'm like, "Cool. Have you checked the other hospitals? Because there's still a lot of COVID patients in those hospitals." Just saying.
Yeah.
It
Also,
doesn't
it's
make
just
you
one
feel good.
hospital.
It makes us feel good, but it's like it's just one. Maybe if we get the news that nobody is positive in that hospital,
China oil.
that would be nice.
What's it is also. I don't know if it's it is good news, but it isn't that
isn't-
great. I mean, like I'm talking about Cebu.
The way Martin.
Like we closed the Bayanihan Center because we've
Why?
been getting for some time now like 0 new cases in Cebu City. Like, so they figured like, yeah, I guess we can close the Bayanihan Center because the hospitals aren't overrun with people anymore. So
Yeah, they're a lot less busy now.
That's good.
People still scared to go to hospital though for like basic diseases.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The problem is they have to go there before they travel to get the swab tests because
Mhm.
most airlines here, I think it's also in the Philippines, you have to have at least.
Oh, it's
48 to
crazy in the
72
Philippines.
hours.
Like the requirements to
before
fly
you
out of the
travel,
country
you
are
gotta do
lower
swab
than
tests.
domestic.
Oh wow.
Domestic requirements are far more difficult to deal with than the flying out of the
International,
country.
outbound. Wow. Okay.
That's why I made the joke. Can I to fly to Manila? Can I just like have a layover in Hong Kong to make it simpler?
Yep. Yep.
Right? I mean, it's a thing. Um,
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like if I fly in Cebu, Hong Kong, Manila, it's probably a lot easier paperwork wise than Cebu, Manila.
what I'm gonna say is that we're being very Asian about it, right?
I
Positive.
mean, I'd agree with you, except the other Asian countries aren't doing this.
I mean,
Yeah.
like in terms of being draconian, in terms of being
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
draconian
yeah.
and
There we
all
go.
of that, we're being very Asian about it, and I think that's something that a lot of people kind of fail to see about the Philippines, or at least a lot of Filipinos fail to see about the Philippines. We're just sort of
We're
in
still
line with the
Asian.
rest of Asia, in terms of in terms of us not being very democratic about things.
Hmm.
I don't know.
We have it on the name, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that it's just something that I've been thinking about quite a bit, like uh, all with all this stuff going on in Thailand right now, it just sort of it just sort of brought to sharp relief, like, dude, this is like the country that we kind of always say that we want to be. Like, are you sure?
Are you sure
In
you want a successful coup d'etat?
right? I mean, I don't know. Like as early as when we were calling for President Arroyo to resign all those years ago, when the Prime Minister of Thailand resigned, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, look, dude, the Prime Minister of Thailand resigned. Why can't the Philippines be more like Thailand?" And the way that they handled COVID, like, yeah, why can't we be more like Thailand? Like, yeah, I mean, because it's apparently illegal to shit on the royal family and shit on the royal
Yep.
family in Thailand,
Yes,
and
very, very quite illegal. I
Yes.
mean, due to the
Very.
I think the ongoing protests and demonstrations, the royal family is made quickly illegal to gather more than 5 people without permission.
right? So it's like,
Yeah.
do we really want to be like Thailand, Philippines? Do we really want to be like Thailand? Do we really want Duterte to have that power?
And remember, we're already bulking with the use of, well, the current overuse of military power. Wasn't that Thailand's like
That was
method?
Thailand's whole thing. Oh my god.
They'll
It's
just say we're
amusing.
Nazis or like we're the evil people for saying these facts out. I guess. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Well,
Channel
again,
14 is
people don't like
canceled.
hearing. It goes down to like people nowadays. People just don't like hearing a counter opinion. They just want something done. I can't tell if people are just tired of arguing points, or simply they just feel no, my way is right. Why? Because, and that's where it
It's
ends.
just
Because I've
people that are
literally seen.
disconnected from reality.
Is it
And it's the
because we've not been
yeah.
physically outside, or what?
Because people just
Maybe
don't
they're
study the world, man. Freaking
We have time. We had a lot of time
yeah.
in the last 8 months.
It's
I
Facebook's
know.
fault, dude. It's Facebook's fault.
And SOCMED
Um,
in general.
right?
Everybody wants the results. I guess it's they see the result and they don't really see how Thailand got to that point. Or
I can see that, especially when they hear like the ref be like, "Oh, why can't we be like Japan? Look what they can do." Me, who's lived there, like you have no idea what it took to get to that point, do you? The sheer amount of blood, sweat, and tears, and things you don't see in the foreground to get to where they were, and to have people like that, you don't want
and
to be
then
that
Yeah.
route.
and then they'll realize it's more close-minded and ass old compared to the more progressive thing they thought Japan is.
Well,
Like, and
Japan is really weird, dude. My God,
I
Japan is
know.
so weird.
And the only reason
I
why
miss
Japan works a
Japan.
certain way is, like or not, they are a very homogenous group. Majority of it
Yep.
is they don't really have much immigrants. They don't have much foreigners. It is like easy 95% of the population is just Japanese.
Japan.
The
And
thing about the thing about Japanese people, I'm going to start crapping on like everybody, right? Japanese people are like the kindest, most racist people you'll ever meet.
I'll
Like,
agree that, yeah.
it is so difficult to find a place to stay in Japan. Like, I mean, yeah, it's
why?
cool if you're there for like a week. If you're there for a week, fine. They'll put you into like a hotel that doesn't believe that the rape of Nanking happened. I'm looking at
Hmm.
you, Appa Hotel. Um,
Yeah, I remember that from
but
an old podcast. Excuse my laughter. I really laugh at the wrong moments. Nora knows this, seeing my streams. I laugh as a defensive thing.
right, a bunch of Filipinos will put them in a hotel that whose owner denies the existence of comfort women in the Second World War. Looking at you, APA Hotel. Um, but like, if you actually go and try to live there as a
Ooh.
foreigner, it is damn near impossible to find a place to live
Hmm.
because nobody's going to
Really?
rent. Nobody's going to rent a place to you
Yep.
Why?
because you're foreign.
Because you're a
I just
gaijin.
pretend. People just assume I'm from Okinawa, and I just never correct them.
So why? Where do foreigners live in Japan? Other
In
In
foreigner
their foreign
houses.
area.
in little enclaves.
Yeah.
What happens is, you'll have like a building, right? You'll have a building, and like
It's full of
white,
expats.
yeah, a white dude is going to like move in, and then as the
All the Asians
year
move out.
progresses, all of the Japanese move out, and
Yep.
then other white people start coming in. But like, it isn't something that it isn't something that is part of their press release, right? Like, it's quite tough uh, to
Oh,
be a foreigner in Japan because they
Hmm.
are just so casually racist. I mean, it's framed as you know, they're very much about their
politeness.
community. It's very much about community and whatnot, and somebody from the outside coming in might disturb the balance there, and it's not like a Filipino might not understand the Japanese way of life.
Mm.
That is to say, when you're in Japan, you're just really quiet. Like,
Hmm.
little things like that. The they're just afraid of people not being Japanese enough to sort
Not
of
essentially following the social rules and social
there.
norms, which are never actually discussed. There are rules, but no one tells you what they are. You're just assumed to know what they are.
Yeah, and because a foreigner moving in doesn't know what all of those little social cues are, like shut up after 8 o'clock, that sort of thing. They just say like, you know what? No, just we're gonna take a really big security deposit if you're going to like move in here, and we can like kick you out whenever we want if anybody complains about you.
Yep. It's tricky.
Nice.
There are lots of things that I mean, it took me a while to learn all the sort of rules around that. No one will ever tell you what rules are. You sort of figure it out.
That's also something that's very Asian.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
we
left to
don't.
figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like talking about all of our unwritten rules. There's
That's
so
why they're
much of that in the
unwritten.
there's so much of that in the Philippines as well, right? Like, we as Asians are never very direct when it comes to saying stuff to people. And Japan is a place that kind of takes that to the extreme, you know, because to be direct is to be very, very rude. So, that's an Asian thing. That's an Asian
Yep.
thing, and yeah, man, I can see it quite a bit here in the Philippines as well. I don't know. It's
Like or not, the Philippines is still more Asian in how we do things, even though we try to be Western in appearance,
yeah,
which
it's
causes
quite
some very
interesting.
weird moments.
It's really interesting how like Asian we are, but then also how like non-Asian we think we are.
Non-Asian.
You know, like another thing that I've been thinking about quite a bit is the Philippines in the grand scheme of things really isn't as important as we think we are,
No,
right? Like,
Are
I
are
don't
we
know.
are we are we a version of North Korea to everybody
no, no,
else?
no, no. North Korea is still a bigger joke because the sad thing about North Korea is they literally have the ability to cause great harm, and we still don't care.
Yeah, I mean, like, I
They're
would say
extra
that
sad.
I
So
would
he's
say that
like
much to the
Professor
rest of
Chaos.
I would say that to people on the other side of the world, thinking about the Philippines is done in the same breath as thinking about a place like the Bahamas, or like Tuvalu or something. Like, yeah, just the islands and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's about
that's
right.
weird.
This is a place you go to
And
find different things.
So it isn't it's a thing that I've found quite a bit in the Philippines. We think we're a lot more important than we actually are. don't
Maybe it's because we have more fellow countrymen in our SOCMED, and that's why you know, it's more Filipino centric. I think that's the environment of our SOCMED. That's how we see it. If we have more non-Filipino,
I mean, I feel like it's also our OFW culture where we feel like we're so part of every little aspect of the world that we must have a hand in something. But they are saying, no, we're probably the smaller cogs in the bigger machine everywhere, but we're still the smaller cogs.
Yeah, yeah. Like in the grand scheme of
yeah,
things, what we do
feels
really
weird.
doesn't matter. You know,
Really,
like
if there's anything of real strategic importance in the Philippines, it most will be the heavy water we have. But beyond that, no one really cares much.
yeah.
We can't even mine or secure heavy water. Dang it. Just there. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
what?
not allowed to because of our constitution. It's something about the Martin, you know our constitution thing more. It's something about like the be good with the harmony with nature or something.
Joao, is that in the Constitution? I'm
It's
consulting our law expert.
I'm a call friend.
there's
Call
I know there's a
them.
section about harmony with nature, and that's one reason why we can't touch on nuclear stuff and stuff.
sort of, but I can't remember the phrasing of it.
It's in
But
the preamble.
I
We
mean,
can't use nuclear weapons or
the
nuclear materials. It's the first
Yeah, and
part
the
of
heavy
our
water is
1987
key
Constitution.
in the production and synthesis of nuclear material.
it isn't in the preamble, by the way.
Okay.
It's in Article 2.
Oh,
All of
Section
those,
1,
so all of
Article
those
2. Okay, so near, yeah,
Article
like
2. That's the Declaration of Policies and whatnot.
declaration.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
we
we
have
don't
one of the
have a
biggest
nuclear
natural
policy.
sources of
That's
that.
what I remember.
And we can't
Yeah.
touch it
Yep.
by law.
Not, yep.
Not
We have
really.
some-
Interesting.
By law.
Not really. It's
Is it an international agreement? That's what we based it off.
I mean,
the
it's
UN?
something that we hold as one of our principles as a state, right? But I'm not
Do
sure
that?
that there is anything coercive. I'm not sure that there's like an actual law that I know of that outright prohibits it. It's just that we can't really afford it.
Just that thing there. I mean,
I can get
the
that.
forwarding part, literally, if we can actually get it, I feel like there are a number of countries that are more than willing to pay for that resource for their projects, which in
China.
turn can China, actually a number of countries in Asia, Europe.
Oh no
Because like or
We
not, I
have
still
we have a deal going on with China right now to do exploratory drilling or whatever in
the West Philippine Sea.
that ocean, that sea that everybody has a different name for.
But yeah, but the heavy water is actually in Mindanao, so it's not that it's well within our actual territory, so they can't actually mine it. It is in the territory.
Unless, I mean, it is China.
Just like they make the line like, yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's like
kind of
Conspiracy theory. They made that island just so that they'll be closer and the tunnel will be easier to dig.
Just go on. Oh god, isn't that a throwback
We
to
dug
the
a
other
tunnel
podcast
to
where I
enter
asked
your-
Joao, like, at what point, how deep must you go? How deep can you go before it's not trespassing anymore?
Consult attorney Joao. Only on channel14.com.
Honestly, I don't remember very much from law school, or like I remember
I still
like
want to know that
principles. I
though.
don't remember specifics.
How deep can we go into the ground before it's not trespassing anymore?
How deep can you dig?
That's what I mean. Like, I
How
feel
deep
like
can-
if we dig just enough, like, what's the line to like if you dug this deep, it's just free land
feel
now. It's
like
like the international
it's-
water of the dirt.
Miko, I feel like the answer to that is there is no such thing as free land. It's just whether or not the person on top of you is going to report it to the authorities, right? Like you just dig deep enough that you feel like nobody up there is gonna notice.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to know, like, is there because we have like the sky rights, which it's not infinite.
Oh.
Like, you don't own space.
Well, yeah, that was last episode, right?
Yeah, that was last episode. That's
I
what
know.
because
I wanted.
you can't
yeah, I
own
wanted to
space.
add that.
Therefore, what is the bottom line here? That we have
You
to
gotta
pass,
check,
so we don't.
yeah,
so we're
yeah.
now not trespassing.
I think
Yeah,
Martin
this
was
is
That's it
actually
Minecraft
basically.
question.
It's territorial rights of a country, and we have air talks. We do that a lot in the Philippines. The
We
usual
call them
places
podcast air
we
talks.
yeah, call them air talks. The one you were mentioning might be first freedom rights. It's a right to fly over a foreign country without landing. So, example, my airplane can like fly over the Philippines if it has first freedom rights. But if it doesn't, it has to pass outside our territory just
yeah.
to go to either Hong Kong or China or something like that. The second freedom rights will allow us to have a
Oh,
technical stop.
I love
Like
this.
we're landing in the Philippines,
To
but we
refuel.
can't disembark our passengers or cargo. We're just there to have it
Refuel.
as a pit stop and like hey, let's refuel. It happens sometimes in Guam. Like some PAL flights from LAX to Manila do stopovers from LAX to Guam, and
Yeah.
then it goes to Manila after the technical stop. The third one is kind of weird. It's the traffic rights. The third and fourth freedom rights allow basic international service between two countries. So it's going to be more of a reciprocal thing. When first allows you to pass through, second allows you to just do a technical stop. Third and fourth will be the ones that say, okay, let's. You have the right to go to LAX. LA Airlines have the right to go to Manila, something like that. But there's also fifth freedom rights. I have no idea what it is, but it's
Hmm.
yeah,
Huh.
because I remember these kinds of talks like 2 years back because my current place of work, well,
Oh,
back
okay.
then,
The Europe
our
apparently has a
specific
line.
office went from whoa, okay. So
Sorry,
that's
I
how
just
I
had to say
thought
like,
heard
ah,
about these, and I had to give these files.
This is
I
pretty
think
cool.
another example in the Wikipedia when I checked it out is like Emirates with a flight in 2004 from Dubai to Brisbane, Australia, and onward to Auckland, New Zealand, where tickets can be sold at on any sector,
Yeah, yeah.
carry revenue traffic between foreign countries, service airlines' own country. So I think for PAL, that means like we have in Manila, we have in, I think, some American places
Here,
and other
there's
countries. Is that how it
the
works?
the the Manila JFK flight has a stop
Okay. Yeah.
in. Well, I'm not sure if if they've operated it in 20 in the early part of 2020, but like the um Manila JFK flight or the Manila New York flight passes through Vancouver,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
And you have people getting off in Vancouver, and you have people in Vancouver getting on and flying
Whoa.
Philippine Airlines from Vancouver to New York,
To New York. Okay. I didn't know that.
right?
that's interesting.
If I don't know, if it were like a second freedom right lang, it would they wouldn't be able to.
Technical stop
Yeah, if it were a
on
technical stop,
Vancouver.
they wouldn't let people go out or come in
Yeah, or
Vancouver,
and then yeah.
Mhm.
right? So like that's what it that's how it goes. Um,
Oh, and just to kind of go back to the whole digging hole thing, I actually wanted to check. Apparently, in Europe, the limit is 300 meters. You don't
Below
own
ah,
ground
ground.
300 meters below you. Like once you pass
interesting.
300 meters, that's it.
Wait, is it
Public
But that's for
space.
because
individual.
crater? Maybe it's too hot already, 300 meters down.
I mean, that seems like the
That's
type of thing
900
that
feet.
that's sort of the thing that that sounds like a thing that Europe would like regulate, right? They just keep on regulating
You
stuff.
cannot go in. Like this is a line. See someone, I am going to make a casino with blackjack and things. It's going to be 301 meters down. Your
Oh no,
laws don't
it's
apply
not
to me.
it's not international. Does no right? When we're talking about underground, if there is a limit as to how low you can go privately, everything below that is state.
Is it?
It should be.
Does that go to the ocean? I mean, I'm assuming it's kind of like ocean, where beyond a certain distance, it's like no man's land anymore.
It's dibs. It's dibs
It's
land.
whoever can get down there. You can get down there.
It's
That's your problem. Go.
Yeah, I've
I guess
always
there is
understood
deep
it.
mining. I guess.
Yeah, because I've always understood it, and maybe Martin can correct me here, being the dude that took up political science. But as far as I can remember, um, that which, with the exception of space and the oceans, everything land related that you don't privately own defaults to the state because of the principle
Yes.
of re something. Because of the principle
Principle
of
of re
re
some
cite or
yeah,
something.
it's in the Constitution. Like we own the land, we own the seas, air, and I think the state owns five things. And I think this is the time where Miss Vida will disown me because I forgot that.
Yeah,
Sorry, Miss Vida. Sorry, Miss
but
Vida.
the default, uh, at least and I think this might be something that is recognized as like one of those principles of law that very many jurisdictions adhere to. Is the default position is that the state owns land.
Hmm. Well, at least for some people now, if you make your house like go 200 or 280 or 290 meters down, you're still technically fine. That's still your land. You just have the biggest basement ever.
All right, but at the same time, these are Europe EU laws, Miko.
That's what I know,
They
but at
don't
least
necessarily
there's like
apply
there, like you
here.
could go down. Like, haha.
Yeah, but
You have a
then you see
tiny
I
cottage. It's
can.
just like a deep hole.
that's the thing,
It's
right? What
just
happens after that 300-meter
surface
point?
elevator is. Mhm.
Well, we go a little lower, like the freaking European Union sends in their sends the police. You're invading our land, sir.
You're
Pick that
building your
stick
own
out the
fallout
ground.
shelter.
So you just dig slightly deeper. They start coming down like the hole. Like, sir, put the pick down. Put that block back. Okay, you're taking government land. Well, it's amusing though that at least there is a country that plays a limit because apparently in the U.S. they're still under the courts to how low it goes because there's like 8,000 feet.
I mean, I would like to
Dang,
think that it's like how deep can you dig, because that really is the you
deep.
know
Eight
that's sort
thousand
of
feet is deep.
the principle behind it.
It's just that
Um,
because since the world is round, sorry, flat Earth, since it is round, there is a point you are going to be overlapping properties.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But
that's
but
the thing.
also like who has a sensor that can read
It's not
8,000 feet
trespassing if you
down,
can't find me.
Yeah,
right?
and that's this is something that's quite interesting, because it's completely useless, and if you know like to come up with some arbitrary line depending on how deep you go doesn't seem very practical.
Hey, someone has it apparently.
Yeah, I
But
mean
just yeah, it's
that's
one of
why.
those
Like
things.
again, this is the episode where I'm just crapping on everybody. Like Europe regulating all sorts of weird stuff that really doesn't matter
You
in the
cannot go this low into the
you know
earth.
like
Oh, you got a permit for that?
Could be for infrastructure, right? Like they have to set like, all right, we gave you like these 300 meters. The government is digging down to install your internet cables like below your
Dude,
homes. Stop
I
we
can't
need
complaining.
imagine them putting internet
yeah.
cables 301 meters down.
meters down. Ha! Internet cable 1 meter more from
I
your
don't know.
territory. We need a UK correspondent. If someone can convince JV to be on this episode, on the next episode.
And she's gonna dig a lot more than 300 meters to reach the UK.
Yeah.
It's just that it's
300
one of those
meters
weird
is quite
things.
deep though.
It's just one of those things. Again, since we're round, at some point you will overlap people. You will be entering other properties because of the angle.
Wouldn't it be
It's
the
just like
case that
weird.
wouldn't it be the
So
case
it's like a
if we
cone.
were to, yeah, it'd be like a cone, like this is the
Your house is an ice
what you
cream.
own, right? Like
We're on
that's
top of
how
an ice cream
ownership would
cone.
go. Yeah,
This is your slice of the pie. I see.
yeah, something like that. That's how I would see it.
That's
That's how
depressing.
I would see it
So would
working.
that mean that
Sorry,
your
flat
sky
earther.
right should be opening up or straight? So it ends up this way, then just shoots up straight once it goes above ground.
It
So
should be,
conal, right? So it's a should open up,
yeah.
Yeah, it starts as a V,
but
then
then
ends up becoming
the
straight once it goes up over ground.
No,
I guess.
No, but what about your air rights?
that's true.
It depends on the angle at which your house ends, I guess. You're safe at the extension of your walls.
Oh, we should have my girlfriend on the show.
This is where the Filipino bakod comes in.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. I know it's like if someone were to make the law and not control it, it would be probably the most useless thing. Maybe in 100 years, it'll be something like, oh, good thing we have this. But now and for the foreseeable future, it's like I know it'll have no purpose, but it's just one of those things. What is the legal route here? Like, are you trespassing? Is he trespassing? Or do you now have common land that both of you share?
Yeah.
Even though you can't
also,
tap it.
Also, now that I got the thinking about it, what if your house is on top of a mountain? Does that mean that your 300 meters starts from the bottom of your house or at the bottom of the mountain? Like,
does that
where
mean you
is
own
level?
Does that mean you
I
own
wonder-
the
I
cave
wonder what,
system under your house?
I wonder what the EU has to say about this.
They probably didn't think that far, but does that mean you own cave systems under your house?
Probably.
That might, yeah.
Right?
I might
Miko's
have
gonna
a
start
bat
looking for
cave.
caves under his.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like,
might own a bat cave and I don't even know it.
Batman's bat cave is legal. We have found.
I mean, I like to think Batman's bat cave is legal just because it's well within his property.
Yeah, but it's also well within 300 meters underneath his house.
You can't touch me. I checked the law. And if you change it, I will legislate to have it changed. I demand
But
to
also-
own more land under me.
But also, you would think that it would also automatically have tip the police off to who Batman is. Like, it's directly under Wayne Manor.
Like, Wayne, can you understand? It's an Airbnb.
I rent it out.
And this guy
I don't
is
know
just,
who it is.
I didn't know who this is, but he just played a really long-term rent. Like, oh, sure, whatever, man. I don't care.
he brought in like a T-Rex and like a really huge penny.
What is the story of the T-Rex? Because I know the penny was, I forgot what the penny is. I know I saw the penny. Where's the T-Rex from? Why does that exist?
I cannot.
I've seen it
remember.
show up so many times, but the penny's because of like one of the old comics about like one of the
Two-Face,
enemies we
right?
got. Yeah, Two-Face. But like,
The
I was
T-Rex,
on
I
T-Rex.
think,
Where did
from
the T-Rex come
Penguin. I think
But
it
why?
came from Penguin, one of the adventures. I don't know. Penguin likes to play in the circus, surprisingly more so than the
circuses
Joker,
don't
than the
have
Joker.
have dinosaurs. And
It was a
online
robot
dinosaurs.
That take this
What's a
from
robot?
dc.fandom.com. It was a robot that Batman fought during an early adventure in Murray Wilson Hart's theme park on Dinosaur Island. Okay.
I stand
So-
corrected heavily.
Yeah.
Also, the Dinosaur Island thing. Sorry, I just also kind of watched Jurassic Park recently. I'm
Yeah.
still slightly annoyed with Jurassic Park, mainly because they're complaining the park is not making money. Why? It's like a zoo. People get bored. Man, talking about, I see people if you go to zoos every single time. They make money. You have dinosaurs and a captive market. How are you not making money? Like
Right.
the hotels, you own them all. The merch, you own them all. The restaurants, you own it all. How are you not making money? I see the amount of people packed in your area.
COVID.
It annoys
Oh,
me.
this is the
every
first
time I see
movie.
it. Yeah, not the next one, which was kind of extra dumb. It's just that part there.
I
It's
like
like-
the first movie better.
So it's just that bothered me. Like, oh, we're not making the figures. Like, how do you have another competitor with dinosaurs? Is this how it is? Like, oh, but they
People
have
are getting
elephants.
bored.
It's like they have elephants. You have things that will eat elephants. How are you not
It's-
making money?
Because it's really expensive.
You know what their
to, like, feed a
competitor is?
Brachiosaurus, dude.
Apparently.
Even then, I'm pretty sure you can get you can probably get sponsorship. So put all the sponsored stuff there, put like freaking ads left and right. Michael Bay
Apparently-
up that place.
Apparently, most
You
of
have
them
ads
market
on
as
the side
kids.
of like the Apatosaurus there, like VPNs. Like,
tattooed on the side of a dinosaur. This Triceratops was brought to you by.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Squarespace.
Squarespace or Audible. Please check out our audiobook version of Bodega Nights here
Oh, an audiobook version?
channel14.com.
Do we-
Just
It's a podcast.
audible.com/bodega
An audiobook
Nights.
version of Bodega Nights is a podcast, Martin.
Exactly.
I remember
It's like
try-
a book, but we make it up as we go.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember trying to get like an audible
This
code.
segment is sponsored by Blue Chew. It will make you and Channel
Oh,
4
God,
the
the
Faithful
sheer
14
amount-
wants you to be HARD.
I saw that pop up. I was like, bro, what is Blue Chew? Then I heard like, oh.
Oh.
It's the blue
Uh,
pill, Miko.
The very first thing I thought, like, man, if Jackass was still a thing, they would have a guy chew this just to see what would happen. They just give like,
Yes.
here's 10. Here's 10.
Just
Let's
to-
see what happens to you.
just to make everybody know, right? We aren't sponsored by any of these.
No, not at all. Not these
Whatever
not these
we're
people
talking
whatsoever.
Not sponsored by anything.
Especially
make,
not
like,
We
a
are
skill
bunch
not
of
share.
months
even
on
sponsored by Norm's Balls, okay? Are we?
Oh, that
Norm?
reminds
Are we
me.
No, we're
sponsored by
not
Norm's
doing that
Balls?
green screen test for that.
Oh, also the news
Okay.
another person who followed me, which I literally thought was Norm because his name was Balls. It's like, is this Norm? Did Norm make another account?
All right. This is for the people that don't know. This is a bit of an inside joke, right?
12-year-old inside
A
joke.
12-year-old joke that.
No, it's not 12 not the joke of a 12-year-old. The joke itself is 12 years old.
It's
Just
12
want to make
years
that
old.
clear.
It's well, it does sound like a joke that a 12-year-old would make, dude. Like, considering like our sort of maturity back when we were like 17, 18, like yeah, cool.
Like it's changed that much.
All right, man.
It doesn't really.
The reason we're called Channel 14 is because we all act like 14-year-olds. Whenever we're
Oh, I
like-
thought it was an inside joke of act.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was an inside joke as well. Let's not talk about that inside joke because that,
Yes.
An
But,
inside joke will kill us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine.
But then
Yeah.
the Norm's balls thing was for the uninitiated, right? Norm's first venture into like making a whole crap ton of money was like a fishball place, and we all just started calling it Norm's balls, and
Yep.
it kind of stuck.
Yep, like
Hey,
the
man,
balls
it's not as
on that
it's
stick.
not as bad as the ball place that was already up across the campus.
What was it called?
Remember
Kiss.
King of
Yeah,
Balls?
Kiss-
Kiss King of
Kiss
Balls.
King of Balls.
King
right?
of Balls.
It wasn't
yes.
worse than that.
Yeah.
It was, and then that one was an
Go
actual
to
business.
Yeah, but there, so that's where we get like the Norm's balls thing, which I guess it took us like what 7 years to like explain that joke, and it really isn't that funny now that I
It's not
think
that
about
funny.
it.
But
Oh,
I
it's
like
one of
the
those things
fact
you
that
have
it
to be
has
there.
It has two song versions of Norm's Balls. One Christmas, one normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's also
Remember
jazz.
that?
No, there's also jazzy balls.
Yeah, there's three.
dude, that second album, right? That second album, I wrote that 10 years ago. Like we're on the 10-year
Wow.
anniversary of the second Christmas album I gave you guys.
Guys, I think I'm breaking up. You guys are lagging.
It's not you, it's me.
Why are you breaking up, Martin?
It's been 10 years. Like, guys, I think we're breaking. Like, what? Damn it, Yoko! Why are you doing this?
No, my net is unstable right now. I might get DC'd. You guys, what the hell's going on?
Oh no.
So guys,
How-
Genshin
how am I? Am I
Impact.
stable?
Yeah, dude, Genshin Impact.
Yeah, waifus, right?
Yeah, it's my neighbor.
Totoro.
Quick, give me a goat head. Give me Totoro.
You're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
name your
Genshin
goat
Impact.
Man, that thing has filled up my
Oh my
feed.
God.
It's filled up parts of my
So
Twitch. Like, why is this here?
you should join us, Miko. Join
Nah,
the
I'm good.
waifu game. Get in the
I can't
gacha.
stream that.
Okay.
No, I can't stream it. Like lots of things are decided. Like, can I stream this? And other parts like, can I enjoy this for just the weekend? Because that's the time I get to play games casually. But yeah.
Does play?
Well, I've been playing it
Actually wanted to
casually.
ask
I
that
don't have
question,
a problem.
Miko.
Yeah.
Like now that you're streaming games is more than a hobby.
Yeah, I guess I'd be
Ah.
more correct. It's still a
Yeah.
hobby, but it's like a hobby where you
Less for
could
your-
do something more with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's less for your personal entertainment, and more for entertaining others now. Does playing games feel like a job?
In a
No.
weird way, in the sense that the way I play when I stream is completely different to how I actually play. Like you've seen how I actually play versus how I am when I'm on stream.
Oh yeah, he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk at all.
Nope,
Just
not
to
at
start.
all. I am silence. I am here to destroy you, and that is all. The words that you hear from me are just pure efficiency, and nothing beyond that. Like that time I had to tell that time John and I had to go, and he had to grab something, and I had to hold it. John, you grab, I hold, and then we broke AG. It was amazing. Oh, that sounds horrible now. That I said it all in one row.
You have to hold. And then
Which
you
is also
broke
something
it.
apparently I do is I say lots of things, not thinking I stop. That's probably not a good mix of words I said together.
Yep.
Yes.
And now,
Uh,
what's the difference between the weekend gaming and
weekend gaming is actually because I don't stream on weekends whatsoever. So I actually get to relax, do other games I enjoy because there are games that I want to play that are not worth streaming at the moment. Like there's a time that you can stream these games, but it's not now because of audience size. Like the audience kind of wants a certain thing. So if I go for an audience that this game I want to play actually has, they don't know who I am. So my actual audience will be like, what's this?
like what
Like
game?
games that are super grindy. Like I really want to stream Diablo. I really want to play Diablo 2, the older like MMORPGs, RPG games, the RPG games that they're so long. As in these are things I do like 7-8 hour streams on. But to who? The people who kind of follow me, like they're not in for that content at the moment. So it's something you can kind of work up to where, hey, I can now do this. Because if I'm going to be known as the JRPG guy, it's like, I have so many other people I'm going to compete against. And it's just difficult. So, like, even that's like, oh, why don't you play Genshin Impact? You mean like the 1,000 other people playing it? The same, like, why don't you do Among Us? You mean with 1,000 other people doing it? You don't stick out at all. So you kind of have to build up there and you kind of climb your way. So on the weekends, I play the games that I really enjoy, that I know it's fun to me and may not be to anyone else. So it's that thing. Like weekends becomes, yay, I get to play video games truly for fun. I still do have fun on streams. I think you guys can tell that I do have fun. I do enjoy myself.
I know. And we kind of
It's-
spam your like chat box, me and Norm.
No, like Norm is like what Norm likes doing is Pornhub all the time. Not Norm's go Pornhub, but that's the Pornhub sound effect. Which I have here. I don't think it'll play if I press it. Like I'll
I'm
press
trying-
it now. I don't think it'll actually go through.
I'm trying to make it a thing, Miko.
Don't.
If someone can make a parody of that, I would
He
so use it.
surprises you with Pornhub music.
I hate how that became my
Oh,
jump
God.
scare for Visage was Pornhub.
I know.
Like I placed that like it's a fun joke
That's
sound effect.
funny.
And became like, why is this terrifying? Why is random Pornhub going through a horror game like suddenly so terrifying?
It backfired.
It's horror for Miko, but it keeps the game from being too horrifying for me.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
actually
coping
one that reminds
mechanism.
me. Actually, one thing I have to do. I have to change the sound effects and just make what I will call the happy sound. Just so when I play the VR, like, hey, if you guys want to help me calm down, here's a happy song you can play me. It'll never be played for the entire time I'm doing it, I'm sure. You're like, you can
it'll just
press
be
this
all
to help
Pornhub.
me. It'll be all the
No,
other
no.
noises. Like, no. But yeah, first VR things tomorrow, and yeah, it's Shattered Lights, which is going to be interesting. It is a full room scale thing, so no teleporting. And it is so fun watching people speed run that game because they're physically running around the room. It is
So
amusing.
that's what you're gonna be doing.
No, I won't be doing that.
Is that-
I'll
is
be
that-
like
is that you're
cowering
gonna
in
be
the
like-
corner.
Like on your couch behind you. Just there.
Like, stay away, stay
See them
away.
disappear behind his background.
Just Homer Simpson.
it's the,
Goodbye.
the worst prank you could pull on Miko is while he's playing it and streaming and somebody pokes him from behind.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. That'd be horrifying for VR.
You have his girlfriend's number.
I got her Facebook.
Go there and poke him.
Poke him now.
Okay,
It's the
now.
perfect time. I'll time it with Pornhub. Going to be the weirdest
Oh,
feeling
God.
he's ever gonna get.
Poke.
He's like, oh, what is this? But yeah, should be interesting. But yeah, it's that. Like, what I learned though, like playing for those games for 2 hours straight, because there is a streaming setup for VR, which is annoying. It's not at all how I play, because you physically have to move around or use a joystick. Whereas when I actually play, I do the teleport because it's just a lot quicker.
Ooh.
But that when I tried watching that, I'm like, oh wow, this is sickening. You can't watch people teleporting every place. It just looks so weird. It's like it just keeps just jittering everywhere. So walking normally is much nicer, but problem is that means I walk slower away from the danger. So it's like it's actually behind me and I can't run away. But yeah, should be fun.
That's
Should be terrifying.
horrifying.
Oh yeah, it is horrifying. I learned
mean,
that like these
like-
games, if they were flat, they'd be fine. But like it being immersive is like, oh, this looks horrible.
So-
I see like
so-
let's
so-
plays of it.
If it wasn't October, would you have willingly played these games?
Oh no, probably not. Like there's some games that now I will play. Like I will play Visage, the full game once it comes out. I am doing that until I complete it.
Just
But,
because you want to
most-
complete it,
what
not
was
because you
that?
actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Which one?
What
What-
what game
Martin?
were you gonna plan on play again after October? Sorry, it's my internet. It's my. Were
Visage,
you
a
planning
game
to
so
play-
horrifying
Visage. How
and
about
terrifying.
Shenmue? Will you try?
I have
to-
Shenmue. Yeah, I have that planned out. I'm thinking of doing Shenmue for December, just
How about
because it's
Shenmue on December?
yes.
Yeah,
Martin's
Set in
internet
December.
connection.
I like how Martin's
exactly right.
jumping through time.
This is
But yeah, I have Shenmue 1 and 2.
this is your neighbor, huh, Martin?
I'm still
And
stuck in
Yakuza.
the harbor. No, it's them. It's them calming their kids and watching Netflix of Coco Lemon, because I don't hear anyone crying or throwing a tantrum right now, which is weird.
What's
Which
a
is
Coco
Lemon?
pretty weird.
How do you sleep at night?
What
Martin,
the hell
without
was that?
Yeah, somebody walked
What the hell
behind
was
Miko. It
that?
pretty cool.
Yeah, what the hell?
Poke him now.
Whoa.
I like
So don't
back
tell
in
me that
time,
thing behind
Martin.
them is actually a person. It's not trees.
I've been staring at that thing for quite a while, like
Like-
waiting for it to do stuff to me. Like, I've seen this in my video games. I know it's coming.
Actually, yeah, dude, it looks kind of freaky, huh?
I know.
For the
Like, there's
for
literally
the Bodega
one
Nights Halloween special.
There's like
Norm
literally
should make
one
that
thing I
like
didn't
you.
do for Halloween that I had actually planned in my list, which was the Warzone Halloween special. Because the
Oh.
dumb me just like, oh, I need to finish this event before, so I have time. When I finish it, I was supposed to stream that. It's like, well, whatever. It's gone. It was pretty good.
So you can't play
No, I
it
can play
again.
it, but like it's gone. Like there's lots of content that are just one time and that's it. It's like you can't replay some horror
Oh,
games.
shit.
Like if I replayed Visage, like I played Dolores and like the Lucy again, it'll still be scary, but it won't be the same. Because you know the shock is gone.
Yeah.
Like there's some things like Visage, like I can excited for the next 2 chapters because it was a fantastic game. I completely censored the start
For
of the
all
game.
the stress it gave you.
Oh, all stress. I mean, completely censored the first part of that game because it was messed up. But yeah, the game itself fantastic. It had some good scares and it had some really, really trolly Easter eggs, like shotgun.
I like how immersive it became. Like it slowly pulls you in through the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
no narrative whatsoever. Not like Amnesia. Amnesia demanded that you read and pay attention.
It's like all
like-
narrative.
I'm not here to read.
It's the horror is I have to read
I was
another thing.
elected to lead.
Read, not to read. Oh god, that's one thing.
Yeah.
And even then, like Amnesia, I'm still like, I don't know how I solve these puzzles. I literally dumbed my way. I would literally find parts on the ground like, you are a puzzle, and I'll find out why you're a puzzle. Then you see, like, you seem suspicious. You must be a puzzle. Why? Because. Which annoyed me about Bendy, the recent game I played, was you had to pay attention. Like, oh, I can't dumb my way through this. I actually have to pay attention now.
Nobody in the chat likes that.
It's something there. I know that people.
Details. We don't like.
Yeah,
things.
that people ask like, why don't you ever read it? Like, I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure majority of people don't actually want me to read these documentations in the game. There's some, like, I'm sure if I had like fantastic reading voice, it would be really nice and interesting. But let's be honest, like, if you wanted to read the start of the game, you'll play it on your own.
Yeah. You can have like Morgan Freeman narrate it in your head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not like those that like
We're there for.
you're there for the scares and everything and the dumbness. And to figure out, will Ironic understand what is in front of him? And finally knows that thing he's bypassed 3 times. Like, I will figure you out. Again, even like Lucy. When Lucy killed me the first 2 times, it became like, okay, I get how this works. Then this became, let's try going this direction. Oh, okay, it's nothing. Lucy, kill me. Okay, let's do this again. But yeah, strange times, interesting times. So Martin, what's up? How's the net?
I don't know. I think it's time for me to get a goat head.